So I'm out walking this morning, my usual path, a nice walking path out here. But anyway, I was just thinking about something. At the beginning of the year, I decided I wanted to be 185 pounds on August 4th. Why August 4th? Because August 4th this year was our 25th wedding anniversary. And I wanted to be 185 pounds, which was the weight that I was when we got married 25 years ago. And so I had to do something in January in order to become the person I am today. Right? I had to start 8 months ago in order to get to this point. All right, and that's what I've been talking about over the last couple of weeks. All right, what are you doing today in order to become the person your future requires? All right. Well, for me, I'm a cookie monster, and so I had to cut out the cookies. And what I did was establish what I call a trigger to the trigger. And so every time I had a craving of eating cookies, it meant I had to go out on a walk. Whether it was a long walk, just a quick walk around the block, but I had to get moving. Those short walks eventually turned into 2-3 mile walks. And now here I am 8 months later, and I actually walk between 7 and 10 miles a day. Right, that didn't happen in August, right? That happened in January. What do you mean it happened in January? I wasn't walking 8 or 10 miles back in January. All right, but the fact that I started walking regularly, meant that I would be where I am today. And so that's the question, right? If nothing changes for you, if you stay the same with all your hopes and dreams and goals and desires for your future, will you get there? Or do you have to change what you do today in order to get to where you want to be a year, 2, 3, 5 years from now? That's the question. Who do you have to become today in order to become the person your future requires? Think about that for a second. I read a book some time ago by Dr. Ben Hardy. And in the book, I believe it's called Be Your Future Self Now. And in the book, he talks about setting what he calls impossible goals. And he says, it's not necessarily about the impossible goal. Of course, you want to hit your goal. What's the point of setting goals if you don't desire to reach them? But ultimately, setting a possible goal does something greater for you, better for you than actually hitting the goal. Because when you set an impossible goal, right, it causes you to focus on the person you have to become in order to hit that goal. When you set an impossible goal, it actually eliminates distraction. Because impossible goals requires very specific action. It means that not everything is going to get me there. As a matter of fact, impossible goals means that very few things that I do will get me there. And so that person moves faster, achieves more by doing far less. And so, my desire to be 185 pounds by August meant that I had to be very specific in what I was going to do. It didn't require me to I wasn't required to go to the gym every day and do this ridiculous workout and do all of these things. It required very simple but very intentional action. The simple action was walking. That's it. Walking. But what ended up happening as I started walking, I realized that I also had to eat better. And so I started eating better. Started eating less, and I started drinking more water. And so the big idea is that in order to become the person your future requires, you got to do something today. You got to start doing it today. And you'll be amazed at the person you become once you start. Nothing is perfect. You might not reach the goal exactly as you intended. You may not even reach the goal at the time frame you intended. Because truth be told, on August 4th, I was only 190 pounds, not 185 pounds. But I'm happy with where I am because I started the year at 220 pounds. And so from 220 pounds to 190 pounds, I'm a totally different person 8 months later. I'm still working to get those last 5 pounds, but I think you get the point. What are you doing now to have the things that you desire, to be the person that you really want to be? What are you doing now to start the business, to open the hair salon, to open the daycare, preschool, to write the book, to record the song, right? To get the promotion, to get the job, to finish the degree? What are you doing now to become the person your future requires?